Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Shushmita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Aditi Devi Dasi in Canada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Aditi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Sushmita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Shyamaguri Devi Dasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Syama Gauri Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. And thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. All glories to all your services. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Shushmita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Anita Ramya from Sharjah.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all your services, Mataji. Thank you so much for joining the call. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Shushmita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devi Dasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandhavika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. And thank you so much for all your services. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Susmita Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj is my humble obeisances. To you and all the devotees, this is Krishna Kumari Devi Dasi from Darling.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all your beautiful chanting, Mataji. Thank you so much for joining the call. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Is there anyone else who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and Dandavat Pranam to all the great devotees assembled here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai and all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. My humble obeisances to all of you again and myself Jyoti Takne, Radha Jyoti Devi Dasi from Shalapur, India. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Jyoti Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all your services, Mataji. Thank you so much for joining the call. Welcome to the call. Krishna.
Yeah, I'll start the recording, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji. Sure. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Sanga Japa conference call. Today we are so fortunate to have Her Grace Lalithangi Radha Mataji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 10th chapter, and verse number 7. Before I hand over the call to Mataji, I would like to hand over the call to Ayan Prabhuji for the brief introduction of Mataji. Prabhuji, I will hand over the call to you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. I offer my obeisances to all assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Here is a very brief introduction for our dear speaker, Her Grace Lalithangi Radha Devi Dasi. Mataji is an initiated disciple of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. She was introduced to Krishna consciousness in her high school days in Coimbatore, India. During her high school, she attended a Bhagavad Gita contest and won a prize to go to Mayapur and got inspired and took up chanting 16 rounds and later got initiated from His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj in 1993 at Mayapur. Very soon, she started attending the temple programs and became a very enthusiastic youth leader in ISKCON, influencing many souls to seriously take up to the path of Krishna consciousness. She is an electronics and communication engineer and worked as an lecturer in CIT and PhD College, Coimbatore, and then with BSNL. During her college days, she was actively serving ISKCON Coimbatore under the guidance of His Holiness Bhakti Vinod Swami Maharaj in outreach programs, temple festivals, college programs, and cultural programs. After her marriage in 2003, she had served many temples and congregations, initially at ISKCON Silicon Valley and later at ISKCON Santiago in Chile, in Manchester, UK, and India. Mataji has been an active leader in the congregational development, cultivating devotees of different age groups, and conducting various Bhakti Vriksha programs, reading calls for Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and several other scriptures from time to time. Mataji is one of chief persons responsible for the inception of this Bhakti Sanga Japa group, and she has been instrumental in keeping it running successfully with her vigilant and valuable inputs. She conducts the Madhava class for teens on Bhakti Sanga and teaches them Bhagavad Gita. There are many more services which Mataji does in this group. Uh, Here goes a brief introduction for Mataji. Over to you. Hare
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the nice introduction. Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Today's topic is Srimad Bhagavatam and 7th canto, 10th chapter and verse number 7, Mataji. I will hand over the call to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sushmita Mataji, nice to see you. And thank you so much for giving this opportunity to discuss about the Lord. And I'm very grateful to this forum of Bhakti Sangha. I'm not doing much, as was told in the introduction, but I'm a person who takes advantage of these calls for many, many years, and hearing from various speakers has been very helpful in my devotional service. So I'm thankful to all the devotees for their wonderful association. So we will start today with prayers. We are reading Canto 7, Chapter 10, Text 7. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama-shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cham Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namah Pankajanabhaya Namah Pankajamaline Namah Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangrahe. Reading from Canto 7, Chapter 10, Text 7. Edi dasyasi me kaman varamstvam varadarshabha kamanam hridya samroham bhavatastu vrinevaram. Edi, if dasyasi, want to give, me, kaman, anything desirable, varan, as your benediction, Tvam, you, Varada Rishabha, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can give any benediction. Kamanam, of all desires for material happiness. Hridi, within the core of my heart. Asamroham, no growth. Bhavataha, from you, to, then. Vrine, I pray for. Varam, such a benediction. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O my Lord, best of the givers of benediction, if you at all want to bestow a desirable benediction upon me, then I pray from your Lordship that within the core of my heart there be no material desires. Purport. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us how to pray for benedictions from the Lord. He said, Na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatat bhaktir ahaituki tvayi. O my Lord, I do not want from you any amount of wealth, nor many followers, nor a beautiful wife, nor these, for these are all materialistic desires. But if I have to ask you for any benediction, I pray that in whatever forms of life I may take my birth, under any circumstances, I will not be bereft of your transcendental devotional service. Devotees are always on the positive platform in contrast to the Mayavadis who want to make everything impersonal or void. One cannot remain void, Shunyavadi. Rather, one must possess something. Therefore, the devotee on the positive side wants to possess something, and this possession is very nicely described by Prahlad Maharaj, who says, if I must take some benediction from you, I pray that within the core of my heart there be no material desires. The desire to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not at all material. That's it. So we'll offer prayers for the blessings of the Lord and the devotees. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayati girim yadkripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. Om Tat Sat. So we are in the very important chapter in Canto 7, the exalted qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. So we have been seeing that how Prahlad Maharaj is praying to the Lord. After being offered the benedictions by Lord Narasimhadev, and actually, Prahlad, the word, Hlada is always cool. Hlada, Hladini is a very, not disturbed person. Praha is always. So he's always been a cool guy in spite of the worst circumstances in his life. From the source of protection, he had to experience the danger of death. But he was a cool person. So, but he's showing us he doesn't need these prayers. He's already in the transcendental platform, and he's proved that throughout, that Narada Muni is glorifying his disciple to Yudhishthir Maharaj. 7 chapters in Srimad Bhagavatam. So 10 chapters in this canto. So he is saying that how, he's born in an atheistic family, is naturally attached to material enjoyment. So kindly do not tempt me with these illusions. So we can see the heart of Prahlad Maharaj from this, the natural humility and his relationship with the Lord. He's even saying that, you are the master and I am your servant. So I should not serve you for any material benefit. If I'm serving so, then I'm not a pure devotee. Neither as a master, you entice me, give me something. That is also not a prestigious position. It's not a pure master. So he's talking principles here. And then he's concluding his eternal constitutional position. Jivera Swarupahoy Krishnera Nityadas. Oh my Lord, I am your unmotivated servant and you are my eternal master. There is no need of our being anything other than master and servant. You're naturally my master and I'm naturally your servant. We have no other relationship. So, such is the greatness of a devotee, the selfless nature, and he's fixed in his constitutional position, and he's relishing his mellow as servant to his eternal master, right? And then we come upon this. If at all you want to give me any benediction, then I pray from your lordship that within the core of my heart, there be no material desires. So if we analyze this prayer, Prahlad Maharaj, being a devotee, is the most intelligent person. So he is having one chance to ask something from the Lord, and he's asking this. So how is it the root of all the benedictions, right? So we were just thinking about, we were doing a play with the kids, Become a Mouse Again. This is a famous story that Srila Prabhupada told in a very humorous manner. So everyone knows this. But when we do this, play with the kids, we see and we get some realizations where we are. So the story goes like this, that a mouse goes to the sage, and then the mouse says that, oh sage, and I'm constantly in trouble, being chased by the cat. So I have no relief from this. Then the sage asks, what can I do for you? Can you make me a cat? And the sage is saying, life will not be any much different if you're a cat. But then the mouse says, no, I'm constantly chased by this cat. If I'm a cat, then all my problems will be solved. I'll not be chased by the cat and I can live very happily. So then the sage says, be it, so be it. And the mouse became the cat. The cat is running around and suddenly comes the dog, like Tom and Jerry. And then there's a dog character in that. And now the cat is chased by the dog. Chased, and again that cat comes back to the sage and says, oh, my dear sage, what now? The dog is constantly chasing me. Can I become a dog? And the sage says, life will not be any different if you're a dog. But then the cat is convinced, because the cat can only see that the dog is my problem. Once I become a dog, I'm rid of all the problems. Like so many of us, we only have this vision. What is in it in my plate now, within my range of vision? And I go and ask the Lord, because I know better how to solve my problems. So please give me this. And the cat also says that, when I become dog, D-O-G, it's almost close to G-O-D, right? So please make me a dog. And then he was made a dog. The dog is running around and suddenly he hears a growl. And the growl is from a lion, a hungry lion, ready to pounce on the dog to eat. Now the dog comes running around to the sage, and then the sage laughs. I told you, life will not be any different. But the dog argues, this time it will be different, because there's nothing else that would chase a lion. I'm 100% sure. The lion chases everyone, and there's nothing else that chases a lion. So I'm not going to bother you anymore. And this is my last benediction. I don't want anything else, but please make me a lion. The sage laughed and then he said, okay, become a lion. And as soon as the dog became a lion, it realized the problem. Problem is hunger. The other animals can get something to eat, but the lion or the tiger is always hungry and it has to do hard work to get something to eat or die of starvation. So with the hunger, the lion is looking upon the sage and growling and trying to eat the sage. Until the dog became a lion, it didn't realize what the problem of the lion is. Until the dog became the cat, it didn't realize what the problem of the dog is, and vice versa. So now the sage is no more a sage, but a food for a very hungry lion. Now the lion did not come to beg the sage, but the sage said, become a mouse again. So again, the lion becomes a small squeaky mouse and goes away. So this looks like a funny story, but it's pretty much our story. Life after life after life after life. The other side is always greener, that if I become this, then my problem is solved. If I become this, then my problem is solved. And then at the end of the life, we have a bunch of unfulfilled desire and a strong conviction that if this desire is fulfilled, then I am safe. So Krishna is telling, yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sadatad bhava bhavitaha. You cannot escape. Whatever you think at the end of your life, yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. Whatever we have been meditating on, whatever we have been contemplating on, and that becomes the sum total of what we want and the constitution of the mind. From there, again, starts the next sojourn. Again, we have a range of things to see. And then how do we develop desires? Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kama sangat sanjayate kama. By association, by seeing, by comparing. Oh, okay, today I got up fresh, but then I see my friend yes, got this job, and the other one is taking 2 jobs, moonlighting. And then because of that, what they've got 3 houses, and they could afford their children in a private school and a private medical school. So many reasons, so many things to come to fill our mind, and then mind goes on a trip. So this continues life after life. And sometimes, we think that the desires are nice to have, because we ultimately, the nature of the spirit soul is to have a life of happiness, right? We are all looking for happiness, looking to comfortably settle in, looking for no disturbance. So we think like that, but then the desires are not always in in tune with what we want. Like this another story, that of the desire tree. A person goes in the forest, is so tired and so hungry, goes underneath a tree, doesn't know that it's a desire tree. Even 500 years before, Srila Prabhupada writes that there were desire trees in the forest of Vrindavan, deep inside the forest of Vrindavan. So there could be desire trees even now somewhere, and somebody goes in that. And when we hear of desire tree, wow, I mean, I can ask my spiritual desires, oh my Lord, let me become your servant, let me get out of this material world. No, when this person goes there, and then he's so hungry and thirsty, and then he's thinking how nice it will be that if I can get some cool water to drink and some fresh food to eat. And then there is water and food to eat and drink. So he's so, bound by hunger and thirst. His first thing was to eat it, and then think, oh, how did this come about? I just thought about it and it came. Wow, that's so nice. And I had a relaxing meal. Now I really want to relax. So then suddenly comes a nice bed, and then he starts to relax. At that time, he thinks, wow, I have landed upon a desire tree. How fortunate I am. And whatever I'm desiring, this is happening. This has to be a news in the newspapers and TV. And then he's thinking like that. And suddenly, what if I'm in the middle of the forest? And what if a lion comes and eats me? And sure enough, the lion was there and finished was his life. So this is our story, we are eaten up by the desires even without we wanting it. Why? Because what he says, Bandhur atmatmanastasya enatmaivatmanajitaha anatmanastu shatrutve vartetatmaiva shatruvat. Mind is our best friend. Constantly we are hearing the voice of the mind, our best companion from life after life. This gross body is given up, but the subtle body, chitta with mind, intelligence and false ego, mind being the leader, carries on us. So mind is our power of attorney we have given to the mind, and the mind carries us. So constantly we are in touch with the mind, and the mind is our friend, but only when it is controlled. When it is not, then it becomes an enemy. Okay, he says, for one who has controlled the mind is best of friends. For one who has failed to do so, it's the worst of enemies. And honestly, I mean, I can say that it's 99%. I'm with the enemy, a spy, right? And that's because of the desires that are sprouting in the mind. And if we see what is the nature of this mind, what's the nature of the mind? This is chapter 23 of Canto 11. Brahmana, Avanti Brahmana, he starts saying this. Up to this point, he was a merchant and he lived a life. He was living, collecting money with whatever means. And then he becomes a pauper and he's left off by the relatives and people are jeering at him. And then he says the shloka after this. Dvija uvacha nayam jano me sukha dukkha hetur na devatatma griha karma kalaha manah param karanamamananti samsara chakram parivartaye yat. The Brahmana said, these people are not the cause of my happiness and distress, neither are the demigods, my own body, the planets, my past work, or time. Rather, it's the mind alone that causes happiness and distress and perpetuates the rotation of material life. His Grace Kratu Prabhu, when he came to Charlotte, he gave a very wonderful class on this subject. Generally, when we have a problem, when we are in happiness, we don't care. We always say, I achieved it, I got it, and I'm happy. I am the enjoyer, and this and that. But generally, when distress comes, why me? Why me alone? We don't even try to see that the other people are also in the same boat, but everyone puts up a show, a mask, that I am all good. Are you good? How are you doing? I'm good. How about you? I'm good. But internally, both are devastated. So, can the demigods be the reason for it? No. My own body, in one sense, all these are, right? Otherwise, the planets. I have this problem because I am under this dasha now. Rahu and Ketu and Shani and, all are making my life miserable. So I go to the temple, go around the Navagrahas so many times, light lamps and hope. But no, but those planets are there because we have only sowed the seed. They're only giving us the fruit of that. When the fruit is about to fall, we cannot go and stop the fruit telling that, no, don't fall on me. So it's neither the planets. Then is it my past work, right? Because of my past work, the planets are like this. And then we could argue that the past work is because of time, place, and circumstances, and the time has matured for me to come. And when confronted with something, why are you like this? Then we tend to say, that's because my situation is like this. Why are you getting angry? Because my children are not listening to me. And this and that, and so many answers for why we behave like that. But this Brahmana is telling, it's the mind alone. Why? Because if it is one set of past work, and then we are enjoying or suffering the results, then by enjoying or suffering the results, if we become enlightened, then it's fine. But the problem is the mind again wants to do the same thing. Puna charvita charvanana. So it's the mind alone that causes happiness and distress. And because of this, and we are absorbed in happiness and distress, which keeps coming. Like the winter and the summer seasons non-stop, right? Once the winter is over, we are getting ready for the summer. Once the summer is over, we are getting ready for the winter, and there is no break of this. So these things are keep coming, and without learning to tolerate them, we become absorbed in them. And because of that, that perpetuates the rotation of material life. And what is the solution for this? So before going to the solution, Krishna is saying, when Arjuna is asking in the second chapter, that, sthita prajna, you're telling about somebody whose prajna is sthita. Is it possible at all? What is the symptom of a person who is fixed in his consciousness? Then Krishna says this, 2.70, Apuryamanam achala pratishtam samudramapa pravishanti yadvat Tatvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti na kama kami. Apuryamanam, always being filled. Okay, but still steadily situated. A person who's not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled, but is always still, can alone achieve peace, not the man who strives to satisfy such desires. So this is the point of where we have something to do. So Prabhupada writes a brilliant purport. Although the vast ocean is always filled with water, it is always, especially during the rainy season, being filled with much more water. But the ocean remains the same, steady. It is not agitated, nor does it cross beyond the limit of its brink. This is also true of a person fixed in Krishna consciousness. As long as one has the material body, the demands of the body for sense gratification will continue. The devotee, however, is not disturbed by such desires. This is very important. The devotee, however, is not disturbed by such desires because of his fullness. A Krishna conscious man is not in need of anything because the Lord fulfills all his material necessities. Therefore, he is like the ocean, always full in himself. Desires may come to him like the waters of the rivers that flow into the ocean, but he is steady in his activities and is not even slightly disturbed by desires for sense gratification. That is the proof of a Krishna conscious man. One who has lost all inclinations for material sense gratification, although the desires are present. Because he remains satisfied in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, he can remain steady like the ocean and therefore enjoy full peace. Others, however, who want to fulfill desires even up to the limit of liberation, what to speak of material success, never attain peace. The fruitive workers, the salvationists, and also the yogis who are after mystic powers are all unhappy because of unfulfilled desires. But the person in Krishna consciousness is happy in the service of the Lord and he has no desires to be fulfilled. In fact, he does not even desire liberation from the so-called material bondage. The devotees of Krishna have no material desires and therefore they are in perfect peace. So this is a punchline. So it is not an artificial steadiness or calmness, but his desires are engaged in something else. His desires are engaged in fulfilling the Lord's desires, right? That is serving the Lord. Like if you see, Srila Prabhupada's life, he had Himalayan desires. And in fact, Srila Prabhupada once said that my problem is I can't think small. If we read his letters, we will know that, he had practically nothing initially. He's writing to Sally Agarwal when he was living at the expense of Mishra's yoga studio. Okay, and Dr. Mishra sees him as a threat because, he's attracting Dr. Mishra's students. So he moved Srila Prabhupada to a dingy place, which is like 8 by 10 with no windows also. So Prabhupada had no means of money to find an accommodation on his own at that point of time. And, he imagine this, like he has no source of income. He has to, eat every day to survive. And there is no cooking facility in that place. And he came in September, right? In New York, September, October, November, you know how it is. And especially in Manhattan area, if any of you have visited, the cold winds from the river, Hudson Bay, is so much, it comes on the face. And And he had to walk 10 blocks to get to Mishra's yoga studio, and then to take a shower and cook there for himself and Dr. Mishra and few other students. And that's the only meal. And then he comes back in the night, and then he writes a letter to Sally Agarwal. I mean, he could sense the pulse of Sally. He's not telling Sally that, you become a devotee, chant Hare Krishna. But he's saying that, he has developed a relationship like a daughter. And, Sally says that she's in tears. Sally and Gopal Agarwal were the sponsors of Prabhupada, and Prabhupada stayed in their home. Not in their home, in a room in YMCA close to their house as a guest for maybe 1.5 months or so. So Sally says she was in tears, that I had never felt, so much love in my life from this fatherly person. So Prabhupada is writing to her that I'm here, and sometimes I'm not able to sleep in the night because of night starvation, because of hunger. I mean, that's what he writes and then he says to Sally that I'm also like your son Bridge, but I am your older son now. So you need to take care of me also. And then he says, if you come here, that there is we can if you invest on finding a place and then making a hotel, a restaurant, I can teach, and I have the plan to do a wonderful restaurant here. People are in need of food, and we can give them healthy alternatives, and definitely, you can make a lot of money in this. This will be a booming business for you. And in that same letter, he writes thrice that, I urge you to come here for 2 days and look at the prospects. And he also says that we can rent a small storefront for our restaurant, and then you invest, and I can get to cook, and we can do something worthwhile. You can do your business, and you are supporting me also, and then I want to do something. So I mean, he doesn't write this paraphrase, but if we read that, this is what his mood is. So he's hardly having anything to eat, but his desire is that he wanted to open a restaurant, and whichever building he would see, he would say that, oh, this building could be a good Radha Krishna temple. And that's how, the Toronto temple came about. Before they could buy that church, the previous time when Srila Prabhupada was walking by, he stopped by in the place and told that if ever this church is going to come on sale, buy it for the temple. And exactly in a year, within the next year, the devotees got that beautiful church. And it's a temple even now. Like we can see, it's one of the few temples where Srila Prabhupada visited, and it's in the same place, same area. It's a tirtha now. So this is Srila Prabhupada's desires. And also we can see in his letter when he was staying in Bhakti Saranga Maharaj's ashram before or after starting the Jhansi League, I think. So he was wanting to make the Sajjana Toshani like harmonist, and he wanted to solicit sponsors for that. So he's wanting to go and meet people, but he's writing to his god brother that I can't, I mean, that too in a very humble and mild manner, that if I could get 2 pairs of dhoti and good dhoti and kurta, then I could go and meet them. Only for going and meeting them, because whatever he was wearing now was torn. He mentions that also. And he was the treasurer of that temple. He was managing the funds of the temple, but to buy himself a dhoti, that too to be presentable to people, to get sponsorship, to make his magazine equal to Times, or he writes that, we can make this magazine as popular as Times magazine. And for that, if you permit me, can I have 2 more sets of dress? And this is there in Leelamrita, we read it too. So we can see Prabhupada also had desires, Himalayan desires, Herculean desires, and he would never stop. And that he was engrossed in fulfilling that desires in the service of the Lord, that the demands of the material desires. See, that's why the devotee, however, is not disturbed by such desires because of his fullness. And also Prabhupada was completely in anxiety, transcendental anxiety, how best I can serve the Lord within my allotted time. I'm an old man. Anytime I would pass away. So I had very less time. And so this way we learn practically that how we can dovetail our desires to serve the Lord, and in that way be free from bugging of the material desires. So Krishna, after this verse, he says one other very nice verse. Vihaya kaman yasarvan umams charati nishpraha nirmamo nirahankaraha sashantim adhikachati. A person who has given up all desires for sense gratification, who lives free from desires, who has given up all sense of proprietorship, and is devoid of false ego, he alone can attain real peace. So just a couple lines from the purport. To become desireless means not to desire anything for sense gratification. In other words, desire for becoming Krishna conscious is actually desirelessness. To understand one's actual position as the eternal servitor of Krishna, without falsely claiming this material body to be oneself, and without falsely claiming proprietorship over anything in the world, is a perfect stage of Krishna consciousness. One who is situated in this perfect stage knows that because Krishna is the proprietor of everything, everything must be used for the satisfaction of Krishna. Arjuna did not want to fight for his own sense satisfaction. But when he became fully Krishna conscious, he fought because Krishna wanted him to fight. For himself, there was no desire to fight. But for Krishna, the same Arjuna fought to his best ability. Real desirelessness is desire for the satisfaction of Krishna, not an artificial attempt to abolish desires. The living entity cannot be desireless or senseless, but he does have to change the quality of the desires. A materially desireless person certainly knows that everything belongs to Krishna. Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam, and therefore he does not falsely claim proprietorship over anything. This transcendental knowledge is based on self-realization, namely knowing perfectly well that every living entity is an eternal part and parcel of Krishna in spiritual identity, and that the eternal position of the living entity is therefore never on the level of Krishna or greater than him. This understanding of Krishna consciousness is the basic principle of real peace. So, yeah, so it is not just theoretical understanding, but also transcendental knowledge based on self-realization. But when does something become a practice, right? When it is theory over and over and over again, we read and then we contemplate on it. The same concept, dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangaste chupajayate, sangat sanjayate kama. So we develop the desire to serve the Lord by constantly associating with him in one form or the other, chanting the holy names of the Lord, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing to the lectures, and associating with devotees, practically cooperating to serve the Lord, to glorify the Lord. So day in and day out, this again and again and again is going to pile up on our knowledge, and then self-realization comes about, that knowing that our original, we can attain real peace only when we serve the Lord. Because The previous verse is how a person who is running after satisfying one desire after another can never become peaceful. And then Krishna is saying here how he can attain peace. So is this something that we can't do it ourselves? Right? We can try to control the desires and try to do that. So here, this is a verse that proves what Srila Prabhupada wrote in the purport there, and also, how we can, how to control the mind, how to engage ourselves. What is the baby step that we have to do? Bhratrivyam enam tadadabraviryam upekshayadyeyitam apramattaha guror hares charanopasana sharanopashanastro jahi vyalikam swayam atmamosham. So here if we see upasana astraha, what upasana? Charana, of whom Hare and of whom Guru. Guru, Hare, Charana, Upasana, Astraha, applying the weapon of worshipping. This uncontrolled mind is the greatest enemy of the living entity. If one neglects it or gives it a chance, it will grow more and more powerful and will become victorious. Although it is not factual, it is very strong. It covers the constitutional position of the soul. O King, please try to conquer this mind by the weapon of service to the lotus feet of the spiritual master and of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Do this with great care. This is Jadabharat Maharaj telling to King Rahugana. And he's saying this is the astra. What is the weapon we have against the onslaught of the mind? Worshipping the lotus feet of Guru and Hari, and do this with great care. So if we see the purport, there is one easy weapon with which the mind can be conquered: neglect. The mind is always telling us to do this or that. Therefore, we should be very expert in disobeying the mind's orders. Gradually, the mind should be trained to obey the orders of the soul. It is not that one should obey the orders of the mind. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say that to control the mind, one should beat it with shoes many times just after awakening and again before going to sleep. In this way, one can control the mind. This is the instruction of all the Shastras. If one does not do so, one is doomed to follow the dictations of the mind. Another bona fide process is to abide strictly by the orders of the spiritual master and engage in the Lord's service. Then the mind will be automatically controlled. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed Srila Rupa Goswami, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai, Bhakti Lata Bij. When one receives a seed of devotional service, by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one's real life begins. If one abides by the order of the spiritual master, by the grace of Krishna, he is freed from service to the mind. So this is why initiation, 16 rounds for regulative principles and, cooperating in service, helping the spiritual master to serve Srila Prabhupada's movement. We take this up. We do it with care because we have something solid to do every day. We have to listen to the dictates of the mind, but we can tell the mind, let me do this first. Let me chant 16 rounds as promised. Let me follow what I'm supposed to do. Let me read. And then I will come. Like Haridas Thakur said to the alluring woman that, wait, I will satisfy you, but first let me finish this. So by the time we do this in and out, day in and day out, then only not only that, on our own we cannot become. If one abides by the orders of the spiritual master, by the grace of Krishna, he's freed from service to the mind. Otherwise, Bifale sevinu kripana durajana chapala sukala balagire. This chapala sukha is rooting us. And again, going behind this chapala sukha, we are ready to go unlimited times, life after life after life, trying to serve the mind and senses. So this is where Sri Prahlad Maharaj is keeping this one prayer in mind. Because this is the root of all prayers. And for a person who has controlled the mind, what does he get? What is Krishna's gift? You know, it's a tough thing to deny ourselves what we want to enjoy, what everybody else is enjoying here, what we see, and then tell us that, you know, I have to do, spiritual service to Guru and Krishna. What is the result of that? This is Krishna saying in the episode of Ambarish Maharaj. Sadhavo hridayam mahyam sadhunam hridayam tvaham madanyattena jananti naham tebhyo manag api. The pure devotee is always within the core of my heart, and I am always in the heart of the pure devotee. My devotees do not know anything else but me, and I do not know anyone else but them. What it is to get the Supreme Lord speak like this, right? He's all cognizant. He's a supreme controller. He's, due to lack of time, will not read the purport. But he's saying that the pure devotee is always within the core of my heart first. Sadhavo hridayam mahyam. Then sadhunam hridayam tvaham. I am always in the heart of the pure devotee. So such is the benefit. You know, Krishna is saying that the pure devotee is always within the core of his heart. And it is okay that the devotees do not know anything else but him. And he is also reciprocating in the same way that I do not know anyone else but him. Naham tebhyo manag api. So what is it to get this benediction from the Supreme Lord? And, you know, how this is a dealing that Prahlad Maharaj is showing with Narsimhadev, that I am there in your heart and you are there in my heart, and that's enough. Let me always do service to you. And please don't tempt me for anything less. And if we don't do that, what is the result? If we do this, I mean, it's hard to do this, but if we do this, what's the result? Krishna is saying, Shaknoti haiva yakshodum praksharira vimokshanat Kama krododbhavam vegam sayukta sasuki naraha. Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in this world. Or in vice versa, if we give this opportunity up, because we have this opportunity live, and you know, it'll close. After we give up this body, we have to again follow the dictates, and we don't know whether we'll be in a comfortable situation where we can log in Zoom and read and, you know, be able to discuss like this. To come to this position, whether we'll be there in the next life, it's a question mark. So that's why he's saying, Praksharira Vimokshana. We have got this opportunity. So before giving up this present body, if we are not controlling the urges of senses and desire, then we will not be well situated and neither be happy in this world. But by doing this, we are happy in this world. So coming back, we see that the crux is to dovetail our desires to serve the Lord. So it's like cutting a problem, uprooting the material existence, the tree of the material existence from its root. So there is only one chance and one benediction, the most intelligent Prahlad Maharaj is asking, that when I try to do that, there may be material desires coming, and that I cannot do this even if I try on my own, because it is only by your grace. So he's sealing the deal here, that please bestow a desirable benediction upon me, that, then I pray from your Lordship that within the core of my heart, there be no material desires. Because, it's like this. When we, as ladies, we have so many things, and I'm cleaning up, then I'm thinking, oh, I'm not using this, but maybe, this particular kitchen utensil, I may use it in a year. And when I need to do things, then I don't need to go and buy it, but I'm not using it now. So let me put it in a corner in the closet, in a dark corner in the closet. So it's not visible, but it's accessible when I want. So like this, we tend to accumulate. From my experience, it's hard to give up the things. I want this, I may want it, let it be there, and this and that. And it occupies all the nook and corners. And only when we move, we know that we have been living in 80% of trash and 20% usable things. So if in the gross level, we are doing that, in the subtle level, we can imagine how much desires we have accumulated. And without letting them go for life after life after life, we are safely, putting them in the safe, in the nook and corner of our hearts. So someday I will use it. And suddenly when we are doing something, this thing sprouts up like a genie from the Aladdin lamp and then eats us up. So it's in the core of the heart, which is inaccessible even to ourselves. And life after life after life, the mind is filled with such desires. So what to do about that? So Prahlad Maharaj is very intelligently praying to the Lord that please remove them, these desires which are haunting me, from the core of my heart by your grace. So if this one thing is done, then I can, serve you. And he's showing us, it's not that he doesn't have that, he has proved himself. Even when, Hiranyakashipu is ordering the demons to kill him, he cannot even chant. That's why his mode of devotional service is Smaranam. Already they're torturing him. How can he chant aloud? Just thinking about the Lord, just, remembering the Lord. He has conquered the Lord so much. The Lord exhibits transcendental anger out of affection for his devotee who has always kept him within his heart. So Prahlad Maharaj has lived a life like this, and he's showing us that what we should pray to the Lord as. So these are, as the saying goes, a bird can fly to that height that the wings have the energy for. So similarly, I can speak from where I am, maybe I'm underground or whatever, but this is so enlivening to read about these scriptures and the nuances of bhakti and what we need to know, how we can progress, what are all the obstacles that we'll face. This is a science that is explained in this 12 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, page after page, shloka after shloka, and His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, has literally shed his blood to write it out for us, basically. More than for the first generation devotees, they were practically engaged in service, building Vrindavan, Mayapur, building the temples, organizing. They had no time. Many Prabhupada disciples would say that we had no time. We just have to finish our rounds and hear Bhagavatam class and run to our service 18 hours a day. But we are reaping the benefits, the second generation and the third generation and generations to come. So we will use this opportunity of Bhadra Purnima to tell our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada, like how much we are benefited by this knowledge and devotion and discussion, and how many more we see that needs this benefit. They don't even know that they're looking for it, but 100% everybody is looking for this knowledge. So they may run away from the books telling, I will give you donation, but I don't want these books. But then, like a doctor giving a medicine, nobody likes medicine. Is there anyone who likes medicine? I mean, there are many doctors in this forum, they would say, but prescription means it has to be followed. So similarly, we have this order from Srila Prabhupada to distribute books. And so we try our best to convince the people to take the books, to help, support, to preserve this knowledge. And, eventually they will release themselves. When Bhagavatam enters into a home, the book where we have the words of the Lord, the devotees, every different incarnation, the Lord, what he spoke, the devotees, what they spoke, the sages and the holy rivers. I mean, so many pastimes. How would they just sit there doing nothing? Definitely, they would bring the benefits to the people who are in the house where Srimad Bhagavatam stays. So we will try our best, practically we'll try and contact our friends to inspire them to get this Bhagavatam set. And if we don't have one, we can get it ourselves. And, like this way, we can be grateful to Srila Prabhupada. If not for Srimad Bhagavatam, how would we know that today is the auspicious day of Vamana Dwadasi? So 8th canto coming up soon. We will read about Vamana Dev and how, here we see the sweet relationship between Prahlad and Narsimhadev, and how Prahlad Maharaj is seeing the Lord face to face, conversing with him, and how sweet and filled with love is their conversations. Same way we see Prahlad Maharaj's grandson, Bali Maharaj, and Bali Maharaj telling to his guru that it is a principle that I have to surrender to Krishna. Even though the person, the dwarf Brahmana, he's especially dwarf. Okay, he's not even an ordinary size Brahmana. He's a dwarf Brahmana and his feet is also small. So even if he is Vishnu himself, why should I stop myself from giving everything? Anyway, everything is going to be taken away at the time of my death. So I will be glorified as someone who has given charity to Lord Vishnu. So after contemplating on what you said from different angles, I think I should not stop from giving charity to this person, even if he's going to be Vishnu and take away everything from me. And sure enough, Shukracharya cursed him that, very soon you will lose everything and become a pauper. And true to that curse, after getting this, the dwarf Brahmana, he grew up and he cheated, right? Looking at the dwarf Brahmana and looking at the small feet, Bali Maharaj is asking, are you sure? 3 steps of land only in your small feet? And he says, I'm sure. If someone is not satisfied with 3 steps of land, he will not be satisfied with anything else. Then he grew so huge to cover everything in 2 steps. And where do I put the 3rd step? So Bali Maharaj, offers himself. And then he is sent to Sutala planet for not keeping up his promise. At the same time, the Lord also goes with him and becomes a doorkeeper. So Sukadeva Goswami, as Parikshit Maharaj didn't have time. It was only 7 days and nights, and they were going non-stop. So there are so many millions of pastimes of the Lord, but Sukadeva Goswami chose few to fill Parikshit's time and absorption, that Parikshit, didn't even feel the pangs of hunger, thirst, or sleep. He says that let it go on like that. So how important it is, like each and every shloka, each and every pastime. So even to read and finish once, even to just graze on top of the grass, as they say, it takes, 1 year or so, if you read 41 pages a day. But to analyze in depth and to understand and then to apply, how glorious our lives would become with Srimad Bhagavatam. So today is Vamana Dwadasi, so we will end with the glorification of Lord Vamanadev. I don't have that. It's from Dashavatara Stotra. Chalayasi Vikramane Balimadbhuta Vamana Padanaka Janita Jana Pavana Keshavadruta Vamana Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. So the translation somewhat is like this, that, Lord Vamanadev, who has cheated Bali Maharaj, and what you did, you took your Trivikrama form, and with that Pada Naka Neera Janita Jana Pavana. Yeah. So with your tip of the toe nail, you pierce the covering of the universe and got a drop of causal ocean inside. That is Ganga Devi. And you caused the Ganga Devi to come by your incarnation. And, without Vamanadev, how would, the spiritual water come inside? O Keshava, O Lord Hari, who has taken the form of a dwarf Brahmana, we offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Jai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So, are there any questions?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for the wonderful class. Thank you so much. Yes, Mataji, you started with a nice story, Mataji. So you become the says how first he blessed the mouse to become a cat, then a dog. You explained it so nicely, Mataji. Thank you. Our desire will be always endless, but the true devotee desire should be always how we can serve to Lord. That should be our desire actually. In whatever condition, we should always pray to God that please engage in your pure devotional services. Yes, Mataji, thank you. And you said how Lord is always saying the pure devotee is always in his heart, and means Lord is saying the devotee is also in his heart. That sloka is also nice, Mataji. That reminds me another sloka from Chaitanya Charitamrita we heard, that से ही भक्त धन्य जे ना छाड़े प्रभु जना, से ही प्रभु धन्य जे ना निज जे न छाड़े निज जन. So sorry, Mataji, I couldn't say it properly, but the meaning was also same, and so it reminded me of that sloka. And you said how we should always have the desire to serve Guru, and we should always do our 16 rounds and follow our 4 regulative principle to control our mind. Then we can, otherwise mind will always try to trick us. It will always encourage us to do the sense enjoyment, but people fail to follow these instructions of our Guru, then we will easily get tricked. So thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing all those beautiful points with me. We have already hand raised.
Mataji, thank you for sharing that wonderful shloka from Chaitanya Charitamrita, and it's really nice to see you.
Thank you, Mataji. You are such an affectionate mother, Mataji. I cannot never I always, from my heart, I always grateful to you, Mataji. What you have given to me, you have introduced me to Bhakti Sanga Japa group, from where I am learning so much, and we are able to serve the devotees by that is all your blessings, Mataji. All you are such a nice devotee.
I'm just sharing, Mataji. I've learned a lot from this Bhakti Sangha. So,
Mataji. Thank you. Yes, Mataji, with your permission, can we open the forum for question and answer? Thank you. Dear devotees, I can see already hand raised. Radha Jyoti Mataji, would you like to go ahead, Mataji?
Mataji, Preeti Mataji raised first and then Radha.
Okay. Okay, Mataji. Preeti Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Sorry, I can wait. Sorry, if Radha Jyoti Mataji wants to go, or should I go? Okay.
Go ahead, Mataji. We usually go in the sequence so that nobody's upset.
First of all, thank you so much, Lalithangi Mataji. What a pleasant surprise yesterday, actually. From another group, Kirtida Mataji showed me the position that tomorrow is Lalithangi. I was so happy. Thank you for coming on the call, and it was really a big surprise for me. So thank you so much, and I'm so excited. I heard this class; it was very nicely done. Thank you, as always. I mean, you are a pro. So thank you for so many things that I learned today. I like the fact that you said power of attorney to the mind. That is so true, Mataji. All the time, the power of attorney is with the mind. It's not that we're giving power of attorney to our relatives to take care of some property, but rather we're giving it every single minute to the mind to execute all our desires. The story of the desire tree was very nice. I didn't know that story, and it is so true, right? That desire tree story is so true. So thank you so much. I also like the fact that you said a devotee is like an ocean. He can tolerate, right? Is that what you were meaning? You meant to say that he can tolerate all situations. He doesn't get affected. The struggles of Srila Prabhupada and how one must serve devotees, and finally about our accumulated desires. That is also something that was interesting when you mentioned. You said you told your own example. Even I was thinking of my own example about accumulated desires. Tiny desires over a period of time. We don't even acknowledge them as being desires, but actually they're desires, and they are going to really pile up and become a big bomb blast someday. I don't know, Mataji, when actually as you were speaking towards the end, I was thinking, oh, Prahlad is so intelligent. He didn't say, I don't want this, take this away, take that away, like generally how we would think. If something is an obstruction for us in devotional service, we'll pray to Krishna, take that away, the obstruction away. But he was so intelligent to ask, take that desire away. Because even if that object, like we all say, right, even if the desirable object is taken away, the mind is constantly thinking of that object. So it is such an intelligent move to say, just take that desire away. So that way, even if the object is present in front of me, if the desire is not there, then what? It doesn't matter. I'm just going to see it like just any other object. Instead of praying for extinguishing the desirable object or contact with desirable object, it is such an intelligent prayer to ask for the desire to be taken away. So nicely explained. Actually, only as you were talking, I was appreciating, oh, that's a very nice way of praying. Very nice. And I did have another reflection about serving. Yeah. This is the other thing, Mataji, I was thinking. Serving devotees, you said you fix your you fix your mind on the lotus feet of the devotee, right? So, and you screened a verse from, if I'm not wrong, Rahugana's teachings. Can you give me the verse number? Because I was looking at that Mahat Seva Pada Rajobhishekam. It's not that verse, right? It's a different verse.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm very, very grateful to you. I mean, we hear so much classes from you and other devotees who put so much effort. So once in a while, I'm just talking a little bit of what I heard from you, Mataji. And not only that,
it's not at all.
We see that, it's not only during Prabhupada's times and the devotees in the scriptures are giving priority to devotional service, but even now. So there are many examples for us to enthuse ourselves that even now at this point of time, today also we can do that. So thank you for giving us that realization. Is this the verse?
Which one?
5.11.17. And all these verses are from Kratu Prabhu's classes that he took when he came to Charlotte. So very grateful to him.
Wow. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Noted. I was because we hear about fixing the lotus feet on the lotus feet of the Lord. So fixing the mind on the lotus feet of the Lord, like Ambarish did. His mind was like that. But this is very nice, Mataji. This is more practical, and this is what really we all need to follow. So thank you for giving that verse. It's very nice. Yeah, I really like this class so much. So many references, so many analogies, short stories of Srila Prabhupada. Typically your style that even a baby can understand.
I am learning the art from you, from your classes.
Thank you so much, Lalithangi Mataji. Please come, please come. It's so nourishing, please come back.
Thank you much.
Thank you, Priti Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Radha Mataji, would you like to go ahead? Radha Jyoti Mataji.
Yeah, one
would you
second,
like to go
Mataji.
ahead?
She cannot unmute, and now she will unmute. 1 second. Mataji, unmute. Sorry.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Pranams to both of you. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Pranams to you. Thank you so much for the beautiful session today. And just a minute. Shh, shh. There is a cat in my house now. And thank you so much for the analogy that you gave today. And a wonderful analogy, Mataji. It's really, before coming to Bhakti Sanga and before coming to devotion, I was thinking why certain kind of body, why certain kind of faces, why someone is not having limbs, someone is having some other issues with the body, and so many shape and sizes for the problems that we face in material world. And after coming to Bhakti Sangha and after hearing to Srimad Bhagavatam, I'm trying to understand how Lord is. I mean, his perception is so wide, so pure, and I don't know how I fit into this. It's a pure mismatch. And Mataji, I like the mind, the power of eternity that Mataji was saying, and it was really to the point, pinpointed, noted. And Mataji, my question to you is: there are hidden desires, there are certain desires that we can understand because of sadhu sangha, guru, sadhu and shastra. It's like they can enter into our consciousness. They can hit us. They can push us. Every devotee is there to teach or take us to a new platform of our consciousness. But what about those hidden desires that are there and we don't know? I mean, I don't know what is going to come. So I'm really afraid if at that time, if I give up bhakti, because I have seen myself not able to keep up the promises sometimes, then again I come back, I fight back. So could you please teach on this, Mataji?
Yeah. Mataji, first of all, thank you so much for your questions every day. After every speaker, you come up with questions and churn more nectar from them. And so all of us are benefited by that. Yeah, this is true, right? Like as we don't even have access to the core of the heart, or to the heart, or to the mind. What to speak to about the core of the heart. So that's why, I mean, many are saying, like even Jadabharat's one more instruction is that when we are trying to follow this path of bhakti or any other, I mean, we are trying to get the association, chant, and move forward. There are so many things that may distract us. That's like, I mean, we are trying to control the mind and we are trying to focus the mind on doing these things. That is like catching a wild animal. So in the forest, they dig a big pit and they put, it doesn't look like a pit, it's covered on top with the grass. So a wild animal, lion or tiger or elephant is fallen into that. And we can imagine what amount of humility is for the lion or tiger to get caught. It's not its nature to get caught and be humble. So it is growling and growling and growling and, and then it's starved and then it is tamed. It understands over a period of time. There's nothing else. If I want food, I have to do this. So he's giving this example. A person who has caught a wild animal, how careful he would be. A moment of distraction would lead to his death because he would be eaten up by the wild animal. Right? So that is what is the carefulness that's required from a practicing bhakti yogi. Because we don't know from where the desires would pop up. As you say, we don't even know that they are existing, and we will be surprised that am I doing this? Is this from me? Because it's all in the heart. So that's why this prayer, I mean, there's no other way that we can't do it ourselves. Even if we know those desires, what we know gross also, we are not able to control. The mind runs to that. What to speak of subtle desires? So we follow the footsteps of Prahlad Maharaj and pray to the Lord that, only by your grace, that I have this. You know me better than me. You have watched me for millions of lifetimes in this sojourn, and you love me so much. So you please take this away from me so that I can come closer and closer and come to your lotus feet. That's what I would do. Maybe if there are anybody else who can add something to this according to their realizations.
Yes, Mataji, you're true. Even the gross desires are so difficult to deal with. Even the nature of the tendencies of the mind, or the nature that I cultivate, that also sometimes it's very difficult to understand why we behaved in such a fashion that we didn't intend to. There is a force, there is some hidden force that will make us do that, even though we don't want at that particular tempted point. It's not that easy, but you're true. And Mataji, I wanted to know, you started from very early stage of age of your life in bhakti, and then now you are at this position. So you must have dealt with so many devotees. So what advice you will give to me, being a neophyte, how we should come up with the one step ahead with the devotees, because we know that we are supposed to serve Srila Prabhupada, and if we deviate, then there is no point of doing devotional service, because there'll be distractions, there'll be mismatch, there'll be some uh, misunderstandings, because we lack in because of our conditioning. So what are the good points that you would tell me as in teachings, because I'm just a new to this all.
I'm also new, Matan. Doesn't mean that so many years of practice, shamefully, I've not gone up any further, but I can share some of the best practices that are shared by devotees who are making their innings 200 300 runs without getting out and forever like that. So this is the only austerity in bhakti yoga, cooperation and with devotees, because we are all conditioned. Not we are all, I mean, I can't say for others, but at least I know for sure I'm conditioned and I am under the modes of material nature. So we give that benefit of space and doubt for others also. So they're also conditioned by the modes of nature. They don't intend to do this. Nobody is, heart of heart malicious. But as we tend to succumb to many temptations and provoking situations, so do others. So just as we want to be forgiven, we also forgive, and we keep cooperating and going together, because I've heard from one lecture of Keshavananda Prabhu, he said that in all the stages of bhakti, from Shraddha to Prema, what is required is association of devotees. That's a constant thing. Even sadhana bhakti, raganuga bhakti, bhav bhakti, prem bhakti, nowhere we are alone. Ashtanga yoga, maybe go to a secluded place, put kusha grass and that, but that's not bhakti yoga. And Krishna is also not like that. That's why Krishna is never alone. He's always with, see in this picture of in the Zoom thing, I see Ramya Girish Mataji, the Krishna's holding a calf, or Krishna is with Balaram, Krishna is with Radharani, Krishna is hugging a devotee. So Krishna is always with devotees. So we have to be, there's no other goal, like, there's no point. Like if we get out of devotees association, then we are like, we'll be extinguished like a spark out of the sparkler. For Diwali, we celebrate this, use the sparkler. One spark that goes out, before it touches the ground, it's extinguished. So our position is like that. So understanding the glories of devotees and how they're very dear to the Lord and how indispensable they are to our own devotional service, we hang around, like we hang on. We don't give up as much as possible. We can try to, have like-minded association, but that also, the mind will find the trick to go out. And also, so this is few things that knowing about this, and then we will stick to it. Like we will not take away the oxygen pump and throw because we had a fight with the doctor. Oxygen is for our own survival. So devotee association is like that. So these are few things, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji, and eternally grateful to you. And please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji, at the trust of your Lord.
Mataji,
And always keep me in your association, Mataji, and bless me.
Same way here.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Radhadevi
Krishna.
Mataji.
You
Thank
are
you,
such a
Lalita.
wonderful instrument of the Lord. Lalithangi
Hare Krishna.
Mataji is such a beautiful, wonderful instrument of the Lord. It seems apparently Lord is showing, helping us by the way of Lalithangi Mataji.
Yeah, so he's helping me by all of you, Mataji. So it's vice versa. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jayanti Mataji, would you like to go ahead?
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Lalithangi Mataji. Thank you so much for such a beautiful presentation. It was very eye-opening. It was an eye-opener for all of us about the desires. I just have one realization, or I don't know whether it's going to come as a question. The thing is, the other day when we were reading about Radhashtami, about Chaitanya Charit, I think it was in Chaitanya Charitamrita. The thing was, we had read that Krishna himself had a desire, to see how he can realize the love of Radha Rani. So he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and his desire got fulfilled. So we being part and parcel of Krishna, so the desire itself is not wrong, but where you have to put your desire, where you have to put your mind is what makes a difference. So that is what the examples that you gave, Mataji, was very beautiful. So I can understand. We are also part of him. We are also part of Krishna. That's why we also have desires. And these desires, with the association of people like you, hopefully, we are able to put it in the right direction and, go towards this path in Krishna consciousness. That's what I felt, Mataji, after this session.
Thank you, Jayanti Mataji, for your wonderful realizations and reflections. They are very, very helpful to me and also to many of the devotees. Thank you for your questions. In this way, Bodhayantaha Parasparam. We enrich each others by sharing that. So I also hope to please the Lord and Srila Prabhupada by your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. I'm just checking. Yes, Samagauri Mataji, would you like to go ahead? Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Samagauri.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please accept my obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji. Wonderful class, and you reminded our drama we did with the kids. It's so nice, Mataji, and me and my mind, and all the classes you reminded with Kratu Prabhu. So Nice class, Mataji. Wonderful.
Thank you,
You
Mataji.
are such a good student. You are such a good listener, and you are such a good presenter also. You present very well, Mataji. Thank you so much.
By your mercy, Mataji, and we have to thank you for running this for so long, getting speakers from all around the world, and enriching us. We don't do anything at all. I personally don't do much service at all, but still, you are doing a lot, and the team also, putting things. So we are very grateful for this platform of association that you're maintaining and running for our sake. Yeah, I listened to the recording of Atharva and Nimai and Atul and Govardhan today morning.
Yeah, it was so nice, Mataji. All credit goes to you only. You only, made them do all this. So nice.
Yeah, and somehow, it's helping us, right? Even if we are engaging the kids, ultimately it's going in our heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Syamagori Mataji, for giving me the opportunity to serve Lalithangi Mataji. I am also grateful to her in so many ways. I'm so thankful to you also, Mataji. Thank you. Mataji, there are so many devotees who are expressing their gratitude in the chat box also. Would you like to see? I would like to read Lalitangi and Dinabandhu Mataji's Prabhuji and Mataji is writing, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Your association and words resonate with such purity. Krishna has blessed us all with your beautiful and enlightening association. To attain a drop of your humility would uplift us all. You constantly praise and repeat the words of all others. Thank you, Mataji. Truly, Mataji.
I don't have words for this. Mataji and Prabhuji are epitome of humility and dedication and service. And so we all are very blessed, especially to have your association, Lalita Mataji and Dinabandhu Prabhu, with all of us. I think I take it personally as a blessing of Srila Prabhupada that you are here in this forum, personally gracing us, and we offer our humble obeisances, and we hope to serve you and follow a little bit of the example that you both are showing us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Sukhsagri Mataji, would you like to go ahead, Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I
Hare
was raising
Krishna.
hand. Yeah, yes. Let me go, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Lalithangi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for such a beautiful, beautiful class. Very nice points, Mataji. Though you also said in the class that these are the simple instructions, but then we keep hearing again and again, and with the different examples, like you have given us so many stories today, to understand how our mind is like trying to make us go into more and more sense gratification, and we try to give reasons. Oh, that's fine, this is a small request, that's okay, let me do this. And then and also that mouse story, we heard it many times, but then it is really, really telling us how we are always like, just this one thing you give me, Krishna, then I am fine, I'll be fine, I'll never ask you anything. But then again something up comes, and then finally when everything is fine and you are nicely given all the situations in your life, and you don't even look at Krishna, like how this lion wants to directly eat sage, but we are not eating Krishna, but then we are not looking at Krishna only. Now everything is there in my life, why should I even see you? And so this is our situation. Thank you, Mataji, for such a beautiful class. Very grateful to you. Please come back again. It was very nice to see you on the morning call. Very, very grateful. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Speaking is one thing, but then doing that every day is another. And every day morning, first message is your Japa message that I see. So you live these instructions, Mataji. So we need your blessings. Hare Krishna.
All glories to Bhakti Sanga group, Mataji. Thank you for your association. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Benita Mataji. Thank you, Lalita. Sukha Mataji, Sukhsagri Mataji, would you like to go ahead? Thank you.
Sure, thank you, Mata. Hare Krishna, Lalithangi. So sweet to hear from you. After such a long time, we've been waiting for this treat. And hearing of desires, my heart is desiring that you come more often and, give us your association for even longer time. So hope you can fulfill our desires.
Oh, Krishna, you are tolerating us, and we have a desire. If you could sing Chalayasi Vikramane, I was thinking of you. You're always ready with nectarian voice and your devotion to shower us with that nectar.
Sure, Mataji, I'll sing the 2 lines. Chalayasi Vikramane Keshavabani Madhuta Vamana Padanakanira Janita Jana Pavana Padanakanira Janita Jana Pavana Jaya Jagadish Hare Keshava Jaya Jagadish Hare Jai Vaman Dev ki jai.
We don't want you to stop. And you're ever ready to sing. Thank you so much, Mataji. It's so nectarian to hear that.
Mataji, please bless me that, that's the only thing I do little bit by Guru and Gauranga's mercy. So somehow if I give pleasure to all you devotees and the Lord, that will be, like biggest thing for me, Mataji. Please bless me, Mataji.
We are enriched, Mataji, by your devotion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Sukhsabri Mataji. Mataji, I can see one hand raised from Jannavi Mataji. Mataji, would you like to go ahead?
Hare Krishna Bhakti. I really liked your class. It was really beautiful.
Hare Krishna, cute Jannavi. So happy to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you for asking very, very nice questions. Sometimes your mom asks your questions in the class. And I'm so surprised how cute little Jannavi has big question like this. Thank you, Jannavi. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. And you brought the point about distributing the Srimad Bhagavatam. I was thinking how this Srimad Bhagavatam is for us. Really like the point, without Srimad Bhagavatam, how we even lead the life. And then you were giving the example about how devotees they were serving always. Their life is Bhagavatam, yes? Thank you, Mataji. All the points were very nice. Thank you for coming and doing lot of services and encouraging everyone, Mataji. Especially for
We
me.
can see that, Mataji, how Asra became Kamal Gopi because you read Bhagavatam with her every single day. So thanks for that, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank
Krishna
you.
Kesha. Hari Bol.
Hari
Hari Bol.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Mataji, in chat also, so many devotees are thanking you for the wonderful class, Mataji. And we all want your association again and again in the future also. Mataji, I cannot see any hand raised.
Mataji, I have one last question. When Mataji was talking about Srimad Bhagavatam distribution, you point out at that. Mataji, I have gifted it to my mom and my sister this year from Guru Maharaj book table. They've mercifully sent it to the address from Mayapur to my place. They have sent it. So Mataji, the only problem is they are practicing everything. They chant and they do everything, but they're saying so many books, no space for it. So what do we say for that? I mean, I'm trying to sell, if you put one after the other, like if you stack it together, it will just take this much of space. You see, in my home is a small home. I'm just putting in a small rack. But still, they are like hesitating. So many books. What do we say, Mataji?
It's like, if you say, if somebody is giving you that you keep these books and every day I will put $1 million in your account. Will anybody accept or not?
They will accept, Mataji.
They will accept 10 sets. So it's more than that. Just by keeping the books, so much sinful reactions are gone because we are giving a space for the book, which is none other than the temple of the Lord to stay. So $1 million will not take away any sinful reaction that we have to suffer. But just Bhagavatam being there will take away, will bring us good fortune, will put a stop to the birth and death. And, we can be for eternally rich and happy with the Lord. So, as you say, it doesn't take much time, much space. It's only in the mind. It just takes if we stack the books, maybe not much, even if you put the books, it's only 2 racks in a bookshelf. It all comes in 2 racks. So some things like this.
Yes, Mataji, thank you. Please pray that they should keep it in the house, Mataji. I finally said, if you don't want, I will call local ISKCON devotees. They
No.
can happily
Tell
take
them
it.
that misfortune will come. Why will anyone send back Lakshmi?
That's
Lakshmi
what
is
I'm
from
trying
there
to
now.
convince.
Nobody would send back Lakshmi. They would say, if you keep this, there'll be a donkey, a picture of a donkey. And then I see that everywhere in all the houses in South India, because they say if you put this picture of donkey, the Lakshmi, wealth will come and the bad things will go away. So first thing when we see is the picture of a donkey. Imagine how Lakshmi ji came from Samudra Manthan is explained so beautifully in Bhagavatam. How she garlanded Lord Narayana. And the Vaikuntha Loka, how she's doing Pada Sevanam. So ask them, do they want to send the Lakshmi back?
Sure, Mataji, thank you, thank you. I'll definitely ask. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Vinita Mataji, is it okay? Hemangi Mataji is raising her hand. She will finish.
Sure,
We
Mataji,
are
we can
almost
take.
running out of time, so maybe we can keep it short.
Okay. Hemangi Gopeswari Mataji, would you like to go ahead?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. I won't take too much time, and beautiful class, desirelessness. I am such a fallen soul. Even before eating something in front of me, I want to gobble it. Even, don't want to say my pranam mantras even properly. So, the desires are so overpowering. So this is such a good reminder to kind of, go the right direction. And I also want to thank you for holding my hand in this spiritual journey. I would not be where I am without your association. So eternally grateful. And finally, for Srimad Bhagavatam, which you inspired us to distribute, I tried to tell one of my friends who has a Malayalam Bhagavatam, and I offered her English one, and she's ready to accept that. So thank you so much, Mataji, for everything you've done for me and for this Bhakti Sanga and all the other people who associate with you. Dandavat Pranam, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranams to you, Hemangi, Gopeshwari Mataji, being in a place where, you have to go 10 hours drive for the nearest temple, and being a busy gynecologist in an area where your service is so much demanded, and still with all this, your, eagerness to follow and practice every single day, to chant and read and think and, worship the Lord. So in fact, I am very, very grateful that I'm seeing a great example in you, and we are all inspired by that, and I got your association by the Lord's mercy. Thanks to you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you. It is already 9:02, Mataji. Is it okay? With your permission, can we end the call here, Mataji? Thank you. Thank you so much,
There's
Mataji.
one more person, Avinish or somebody.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you very much for a wonderful class. It was so easy and meaningful for me, and it looks like that everything is applicable to me. And it was so absorbing, and I liked very much the wonderful examples, analogies you have given, and everything was very good, especially when you say that the materialistic river is going to a peaceful ocean, and how a Krishna consciousness person can become a ocean, and many other examples which I would like to recall again and again. And it's always pleasure having your words in our mind. Thank you very much for your wonderful class.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. You're a devotee for a very, very long time, and you've heard this so many, many, many times more than me. So you're very humble, and
No, every time I heard from you, it looks that I have not heard before, and I want to put like a YouTube channel for you to hear again and again, again and again. It should keep on continuing and keeping striking our mind that we are wrong somewhere, and we are such a fallen soul. We want it to get reminded again and again.
Thank you for your association, Prabhuji, and your example.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. We have a playlist for Mataji's lectures. I would like to share here before the call-ins. You can save it for you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
And if you desire, you can transport all those lectures to a YouTube, separate YouTube channel.
Yeah. But we have one playlist too.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your beautiful realization. Thank you, Mataji, for such an enlightening class today. And we will look forward for your association again and again in the future too. Dear devotees, let's pay our obeisances to Mataji. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasinudibhyo patitanam pavanebhyo namo namaha.
Takoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Uttara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Hare Lalitangi Mataji ki jai. So much, Mataji.
All glorious to assemble devotees.
Radhe Radhe. Devotees closing the call for today. Hare